Dusty is a guy calling in from New Mexico. And Dusty tried to believe as a child, but eventually admitted to himself that he was an atheist. How old were you when you admitted to yourself that you did not believe?
I don't know. That's a good question. In the last few years, maybe in the last 10 years, I'll be 82 very soon.
Hey.
And so I think I'm a slow learner. But I can
Me too. Me too, Dusty.
I can remember when I was a kid, I had all these questions. My mother was, she knew the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she could quote the scriptures, and she was an alcoholic. And so I had all these questions, but I can remember once when I asked I don't remember what the question was, but I asked her, and she told me the answer, and I said, well, that's stupid. And she said, well, what, do you think you know more than God? And so I thought I had to believe.
Yeah.
And I tried to for a lot of years, and I even went to church, but it was very dissatisfying, and I wrote checks to the church, and I wish I had that money now, but I finally, when I retired young, I retired at 57, which
congratulations.
Yeah. And so when I retired, I decided I'm going to find the truth if it's possible for me to find it. And so I started reading books, and I read more books than you can shake a stick at.
Shake a stick at
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can shake a stick at your arm and get really tired.
All right. Dusty, you're my kind of caller. Go on, please. Go on, please.
It's been quite a journey, and I find myself now, I get pissed off at myself for believing for so long, because I look at these stories in the Bible and they all seem so stupid to me. I mean, I don't know how you're so patient with some of these people that call in. I'm just, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
You guys are better than I am.
I clench my toes a little bit every so often when I get calls, but it's usually the arrogant, cocky ones who call in to tell us how stupid we are that ups my dander. But you never let them see you sweat.
I love people like that. I don't know why. For me, so I can really speak to the feeling silly. I was literally in the car on the way here. I was saying something about how, if I was making a biblical argument, I'd say this. That's kind of crazy to my husband, because, it's amazing the things that when you're looking at them through a religious frame and you're trying so hard to make it make sense, it's amazing what we can make sort of work together. So honestly, I actually love that you're older and coming to this and saying this now, because I am so often I'm young-ish, written off as, you'll get over it, or it's just because you're young and rebellious. So I know that you're looking back thinking, oh man, why did I believe that so long? I think this is is atheist testimony a thing? It should be. Yeah. Anyway, I think this is an incredible atheist testimony, because it's not from that perspective that people can easily write off. You gave it the old college try. You read books, you looked, and you're not just in you're young and rebellious phase. And so I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. You were vested. You could have ridden that out into the sunset, Dusty, and you were like, nah, something ain't quite right. I had a similar experience myself. When I was younger, I didn't go as far along the path as you did, but I remember asking questions. I didn't quite say that, like, that sounds stupid, but I would think it, like, that's not an answer. With regard to certain claims, and people have criticized me in the comments. I love the comments, because people know so much more about how I should talk and think than I do. But I think, are they right? Did I make that up? No, I didn't. You get bombarded with these, even not bombarded, just a slow creep of of people saying that this is just so, and it's easy to not keep pushing back. And you went for how long do you think you were when you finally said this is it? Because I know you say you're 83-ish now.
Yeah, I'll be 82 very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, don't age him.
I'm sorry.
10 years ago.
You seem very mature, so I sorry. No, but you were how old do you think when you finally said, no, this is not me?
I think I was about 72. Maybe a little sooner than that, but it was hard for me to go public before about 10 years ago.
Honestly, that's incredibly hard.
Yeah.
So
I had old questions all my life.
Well, let me ask you this: as you know, you've been around for a while, been around. Have you seen the world change? How have you seen the world change toward the attitudes of non-believers in your 82
Good question.
years? Because we only got so much to experience.
Yeah, I live in a retirement community, and most of the people that live here are religious, but there's a handful of us that are atheists, and I don't know. Seems like I'm accepted by most everyone. I live in a retirement community, and so it's all older people.
Yeah,
but I don't have any problems with anyone.
Nice.
I think it's fascinating. That's a
family that have problems.
I'm going to be headed there at some point myself. With any luck, I'll be in a retirement community someday. And I'm wondering, what's it going to be like for me? Because I'm going to be in your boat, running into people who might have gone to church the whole time. And I know a lot of communities. My grandmother was in a nursing home way longer down the road than you're at, and she had services all the time. Well, what's it going to be like if I'm in a similar home and everyone's going to services? Will there be that peer pressure that you feel when you're younger? Will there be peer pressure that you feel at the end? To conform, to just go along. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I haven't really experienced that in this community that I live in. The people are pretty accepting, and of course, I'm a nice guy. I get along with.
I love how you're nice and you're not having these problems where you're like, I couldn't stand those people. I'm like, the people who call in, I bet you could. I bet you have a lot of patience with folks, and that's the sense I get from you anyway, is that you're just lovely.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the comments, and I do appreciate your show. I've learned a lot, and I've learned to be a little bit more tolerant with people that are still pretty religious and still trying to convert me. But your show's really helped me, and I don't see how you're as patient as you are. I noticed Matt, sometimes he gets really upset. You can tell by his body language.
Yeah.
I think
really
for me, it helps to look at it as, you found your way out, I found my way out. And they haven't. So I know that sounds kind of paternalistic and condescending, but if it lets me take a deep breath and have some tolerance for some people that I'm feeling agitated with, then yeah, sometimes it helps. Just be like, they're still wrestling with it.
I think I cooled off a bit in my 40s. I think if I'd have been doing this show in my 30s, I would have been much more yelly, shouty, no, you're done. But I'm not there now. I got a coolness. Plus, I work allegedly in a very conflict-based profession, and so I get a little bit of it out of my system when I'm doing my job. What's that?
What profession were you in?
They tell me I'm a lawyer, and so
tell me. Rumor has it.
Well, rumor has it. Word on the street is when I do that, and even then, I think this also gets me cooling down. So between work and these shows where we're hearing people who are just actively trying to destroy your position on a particular subject, it leaves me just post catharsis. I'm like, it's cool. I don't see it the same way you do, but if you want to talk about it, but it's been a good time so far, and age has cooled me down a little bit too. Well, it's been great talking with you, Dusty. Thank you for watching. It's good to know we got some folks out in New Mexico in retirement communities that are watching. I hope that you call back and tell us that you've got a little enclave over there of folks.
Yeah.
You take care of
Johnny,
it.
Sophia, I sure do appreciate you taking my call.
Of course. Thank you.
Thanks for
It's
calling.
been a pleasure.
Have a lovely day.